Hello, it's Steven here, back finally with a video. I've not been online for a few days because, one, I was away at the weekend in Northumberland for my dad's kind of 60th birthday celebration. Secondly, after that, I did actually get back to Manchester and go to the game, but immediately after that, I was on uncle duties and I was over to my niece's second birthday. So I've had so much family stuff on over the weekend. And last night, I was just feeling a bit run down. But I'm back with a video today, and there's so much to catch up on. Absolutely loads of news in the world and Manchester City. I hope you're all good. First and foremost, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. You haven't been missing me too much on this channel. Probably not really, let's be honest. But anyway, loads has happened since. Quickly, some thoughts about the Fulham game. A professional performance. It was probably over as a tie, so I didn't really think it was necessary to make a deep, insightful video on that game, because we all knew as soon as that first goal went in, it was pretty much over from that point onwards. And City really just did a very professional job. A couple of very small talking points. Gundogan scoring a penalty. How lovely is that to see a ball hit the back of the net from 12 yards? Oh, I've forgotten what it felt like, and it was really nice. Let's just hope he's on the pitch for future penalties. I thought a couple of minor takes. Cancelo, I thought, was really good. Eric Garcia, composed as always, even though we had very little to do defensively. He was very, very composed. Also, Gabriel Jesus, a couple of nice little goals. But in general, the team just kind of went through the motions. It was a good performance. It was a solid performance. But it wasn't really a performance where with anything to write home about or anything like that. Fast forward to today, basically. Sane is back in training. Leroy Sane is back in training, and that is absolute music to my ears. It's like incredible to see, to witness that. That basically now we've got more or less a full squad. Now, of course, he's not quite ready yet. I don't really expect Sane to be ready anytime soon, if we're being totally honest, because well, he's had a very, very serious injury. It's going to take a bit of time to get him back on the pitch. You've got to bear in mind, and I'm sure we all remember, that Laporte was actually training for a couple of weeks at least before he got any time on the pitch. And I suspect Sane, given the nature of his injury, could even be a little bit longer. But what it obviously means for Manchester City, if he's back and if he's anywhere close to what he can do anytime soon, then we've got a stronger squad. And it's simple as that. We've got a stronger squad going into the business end of the season. Obviously, so far we've progressed really far in all the cup competitions, and we've got a real chance to make a dent in those and really kind of turn some heads. So having someone like Leroy Sane back, who's a game changer, could be absolutely huge. Now, I'm not expecting him to play for at least 2-3 weeks, maybe towards the end of February. But obviously, it's absolutely lovely seeing him back and available potentially, because we all know Sterling's not been in great form recently, and he's obviously the natural replacement for Sterling on the left. And it's really, really nice to see. Obviously, it just temper expectations for now. A few more talking points. Guardiola's comments about the fans and all that kind of stuff. It's annoyed me a bit, if I'm being totally honest. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Guardiola. I think he's an absolutely fantastic manager of immense ability. But I think he sometimes can be a little bit tone deaf. And I think sometimes people need to speak to him a little bit about what to say in certain situations, because I don't know if you meant well or not, but bringing up the fans, and initially he did bring up the fan stuff unopposed at the weekend, and then today talking about how he wants it full. Well, fair enough. It kind of inadvertently reels into this empty-had narrative, and I wish he was a little bit more aware of what he's saying, because it's tough for fans. I mean, personally, my situations, I don't go to every single game because I'm saving for a house. I'm not going to live here forever. It's a nice little flat, but I'm not going to live forever. And I'm getting married, so all the money I'm saving at the moment, the Etihad is a luxury for me. Occasionally I do go to, 10, 15, about 10 odd games. Last season I went to about 15 games, and I've been to quite a few this season as well, but I don't get to every game simply because I can't afford to. And that is my priority. And I don't really blame anyone who has a similar situation, or whatever their reason is for not going to games. It's their choice, because life is very expensive, especially in January at this time of year. I've not been paid for what feels like a year. I can't even remember last time I got paid. Pay me, boss, if you're watching this, pay me. I think I'm getting paid in a few days, actually, which would be really nice. But I need the money, and so does everyone else, because it's been a long month. I'm not really going to blame anyone for giving the Fulham game a miss. And it's obviously not good when Guardiola makes little comments like, oh, well, I've realised the FA Cup's more important than the Champions League, which is a bit sarcastic. It is sarcastic. Pep, I love you, man, but maybe speak to Soriano if you're that bothered about the attendances, because he's the guy, he's the gatekeeper, and instead of putting these tiny little ticket price rises, maybe save a couple of million in revenue, and you'd have actually full stadiums every single week. And that's much better, really, isn't it? I'd rather take that over 2 million, because City are absolutely wadded. We're valued at like 5 billion or something like that as the City Football Group. We don't need that tiny little bit of extra money. let the fans go. But anyway, all that beef aside and all that nonsense aside, obviously another bit of wonderful news is Fernandinho signing a new contract. I'm going to actually make a separate video about that because I think that's a big talking point. So there'll be two videos tonight. There'll be one after this. So basically come back in like 45 minutes after this video, and then maybe should be another one about Fernandinho. But that's wonderful, of course. But this is a brief summary. Great news. And then obviously tomorrow we've got Manchester United. In the semi-finals. Now, obviously, the job is very, very nearly done there. We're currently 3-1 up. We bring them back to the Etihad. We can't take them for granted. Now, obviously, Guardiola won't do that. I don't think any of us are doing this, but this should be a game that we win. Now, there are some doubts, unfortunately. Guardiola did say Laporte is a doubt. I can only presume that's just a precaution. Normally, when you come back from an injury, there can be the odd kind of like fatigue and all that kind of stuff, or muscle fatigue, as Mendy had recently. And I'm expecting this will be a very similar situation. He's only a doubt, though. He could be involved, but we've got to be cautious with Laporte. Now, United obviously aren't in a good spell, and they've been all over the place in the press recently, making Solskjaer saying some silly things, which is always good fun. But they're still Manchester United. They've still got players that can cause us trouble. We know it's happened to us at the Etihad so far this season once, and we're going to have someone like Bravo in goal. So we're not going to be our strongest, and we can't be loose defensively because United will go for it. We have to control the game. If we do, it'll be comfortable. But United, as much as they can make me laugh, they still have good players that can score goals. So we have to be careful. We really have to be careful. The one good news for me is that Rashford isn't playing. Obviously, I never like to see any player injured, but that, as a Manchester City fan, that's obviously a huge boost because he loves scoring against us. And in my opinion, considerably less threatening without his pace on the counter-attack. Obviously, they're still going to have like Martial and Daniel James, who are very fast and very kind of on it. And I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of the other younger lads that will play will put in a big performance for them. But that obviously is a boost for Manchester City. I don't like saying it's a boost, but you know what I mean. It's good from our perspective that he's out because he's one of their danger men, easily their best player these days. In terms of City, I think it actually probably will be Bravo in goal. Then I think Kyle Walker will come in. I think we'll go back to... It depends if Laporte's fit. I'm going to see he'll probably sit this one out. And I think we might see... Otamendi and Fernandinho in defence with Mendy in at left back. I can see like De Bruyne, Rodri, maybe Gundogan or David Silva. Probably David Silva, I would say. Then possibly Aguero up top through the middle, then Mahrez and then Sterling. Maybe Bernardo will come in. Guardiola does have Bernardo against United, and that could be something that we'll see there. But it should be more than enough to beat Manchester United, and it should be enough to get through to... another final, the Carabao Cup. We love the Carabao Cup as Manchester City fans, and I'm so bored, by the way, of all the manager talk about scrapping the competition. No, I absolutely love the Carabao Cup. Keep it going. Do what you want to the rest of the games, but keep the Carabao Cup. It's great. I really, really like it. But this is a game that we should really feel quite confident about because we do have that buffer, which is really important. And United just aren't what they once were, as we all know. The Etihad, as long as we're composed, as long as we're focused, we should have enough here. And I'm expecting it will be full pep, it will be raucous, and the City fans will be there, and it'll be loud, it'll be fun, and hopefully we'll secure another final. Anyway, guys, that's just a very brief run over all the news at the moment. I'm going to do another video in a bit talking about Fernandinho. Let me know what you think of the game tomorrow, Pep's comments, Sane being back, the Fulham game the other day, and loads of more stuff. And I'll see you in like 45 minutes. In a bit.